Hello, my amazing class. So, all my lovely students, I hope all of you are doing absolutely awesome. Your Anubha ma'am, your AG ma'am is back specifically for ICSE students because they were complaining that ma'am, for ICSE we are not doing enough. Come on, students, we are doing all the videos for ICSE on both the channels so that to complete your syllabus. As you already know, it's comparatively big, it's comparatively larger as compared to CBSE. Yeah. So what are we going to do today? We are going to talk about a chapter metallurgy, and that's VIP series. Very important question, very important topic series. I hope you are following Umang series and one shot series. Very soon we'll again come up with all the one shot videos which we have started. Right now we'll discuss all the important questions of metallurgy. So I hope you're super ready. That's according to the reduced syllabus only. So that's going to help you a lot. Do not forget to like the video, share it among your friends, and definitely if you're new, please subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss any single video. And let's move ahead just to get all the courses of Vedantu, because that's the high time you can get all the crash courses that's going to start. Even I'm going to start a crash course next week, and that's the very good opportunity to avail the same. If you'll apply AGE Pro code, you will get discount like 20% discount on 1 month course and 31% discount for 3 months course. I'll still suggest you can go for a month course to revise and participate in that crash course. Definitely going to help you for revision and to boost your score. All right, everyone. So here comes the very first question, which says aluminium transmission wires are preferred to copper transmission wires. Why? With the every slide there will be an answer slide as well, so that whenever I write something, you must get a proper idea exactly what to write, so that you can download the file and can get the entire solution as well. All right. So why do we prefer transmission wire of aluminium as compared to copper nowadays? That's very obvious, because aluminium is comparatively light in nature than your copper. Good conductor of electricity, both are, but when we are getting a lighter option, why will we not consider that? Right? And comparatively strong also, light also, good conductor of electricity, not going to corrode, that's also one of the reason for the same. So see, lighter than copper, good conductor of electricity, cheaper than copper. So that's the reason we can prefer that. And obviously copper is also not going to corrode, so that's also one of the reasons, though we cover it with PVC as well. Yeah. Okay, let's move with the next question. That was a very easy question. Question number 2 says, name the properties for which aluminium is used in. So that's a very easy question. Don't worry, we'll discuss enough questions for the same. We'll start with some basic question, and we'll definitely talk about how to extract aluminium with the bauxite ore. All right. First of all, name the property for which aluminium is used in cooking utensil. Obviously, we need to cook food in the same. So the food can be cooked if that is getting proper heat, because aluminium is a good conductor of heat. Aluminium is good conductor of heat. That's very important reason, so that we can use it in cooking utensil. Apart from that, overhead electric transmission wire. Why do we use an overhead electric transmission wire? But obvious, because that's good conductor of electricity. So these are the reason that we need to explain here. You can say ductility also, so that we can make wire, but the very important property is again good conductor of electricity. Apart from that, the next question is, aluminium is more active than iron, and yet there is less corrosion for the aluminium when both are exposed to air. Explain this fact. That's a very important and very easy question to understand. Though this question came to our mind that aluminium is such a metal that's more reactive, but that's the beneficial part for aluminium, because being more reactive, it will react with oxygen to develop a layer of aluminium oxide on itself. And when we talk about this layer of aluminium oxide, why that's so special? Because this layer of aluminium oxide is more of like impervious, more of like acting as a protective layer, which is protecting my aluminium from getting corroded. So once it will react with oxygen and got a layer of aluminium oxide, that's a protective layer which we needed, and saving my aluminium from further corrosion. So yeah, it will become a bit dull, but that's for all good reasons, and you should know that. So all the answer written here. I will suggest you from the description box, you can definitely download the PDF. All right. Let's see the next question. Why extraction of aluminium is difficult? Again, I hope you agree with me, and I will still suggest, it's not like ma'am is speaking and you are just listening. You can type your answer in the chat section and comment section to make sure whether you are writing in the right way and whether I can confirm it, you say absolutely right or not. Because when you write an exam, sometimes we're like, yeah, we are pretty sure we wrote the right answer, but we miss few points. So you can make sure of the same, and let's have this healthy competition. Who knows the answer better and who can answer it here as well. Okay. Why extraction of aluminium is difficult? Because aluminium exists generally in the nature in the form of bauxite ore, right? And that's bauxite, just a second, bauxite ore. All right. When I talk about bauxite ore, this is bauxite ore, aluminium oxide with 2 molecules of water in general. And the main reason is when we get alumina from the same, this is alumina without water. That's the biggest source. From that we get aluminium. Now the reason is it's having very high fusion point, melting point. That's around 2072 degrees Celsius approximately. So that's not a very good conductor of electricity. That won't dissociate into ions easily, and we are not going to have free ions. So extraction of aluminium is difficult. We need to add some solvent and some certain substance into the same to make it a good conductor of electricity and to reduce its fusion temperature to 950, and that's again became an expensive process. Okay, fluorspar and one more substance we can add in the same. I'll be thinking that if you can answer for the same, I'll be waiting for it. Okay, though we need to discuss that. All right. Let's move ahead now with one more question. That's what it is. Question number 4. What is bauxite? Somehow I told you which metal is extracted from it. Okay, this is our bauxite, which is ore of aluminium, and definitely whatever is the ore, that means that's the primary metal. We can extract aluminium metal from the same. Okay, in the electrolysis of molten alumina, so the very first step, we'll get rid of all the impurities and gangue particles. That's the concentration of ore we are going to have, and after that we're going to get our alumina, pure form of ore to be very precise. In the electrolysis of alumina, the carbon anode is gradually burnt away. Why? So when we do the electrolysis, that's the method from which we can get my pure aluminium. Electrolytic reduction we are going to do. We will take alumina along with my cryolite, which is acting as solvent, Na3AlF6, Na3AlF6, okay, Na3AlF6, and fluorspar, CaF2, calcium difluoride. That's acting as solvent and reducing the fusion temperature of my alumina to 950 degrees Celsius so that they can dissociate into ions and can conduct electricity. Now what are we going to do? Where will be the cathode and where will be the anode? Cathode will be this only, the tank. We will line it with carbon and acting as my cathode. Carbon lining, we'll put it, obviously graphite one as a cathode, and we'll take anode in such a way that will be again carbon rods, graphite rods, okay? And we'll connect it to the battery, cathode negative terminal of battery, anode positive terminal of the battery, okay? Now that should be a bit steeped. The reason for having this in a form of a bit steeped, so that the molten aluminium we are going to get can easily be separated. Now we will be having aluminium ions in the same, and you know that cation move towards cathode. So cathode, which is negatively charged will be the source to take electron, and we'll get aluminium. But in case of anode, we are having two type of ions. For these anode, we are having two type of anions, oxide and fluoride. Now they just have to lose the electron so that they can give a stable product. Oxygen is having more tendency to lose electron as compared to fluorine, because fluorine is more electronegative. So oxygen will move towards anode and give oxygen gas. So at anode, what are we going to get? We are going to get oxygen gas. Oxide ions will go and loses its electron to give oxygen gas. Now these carbon rods combined with oxygen to give CO2 gas at this high temperature, because heat is continuously being released as well. So these carbon rods react with the oxygen to gradually bond away to give carbon dioxide gas. So we have to change it after some time, and we have to keep doing that so that we'll get aluminium with the maximum production. Okay, so that's the reason, that's how we do it. In a way, I explained very much important part of our Hall-Herold's process, with the help of which we get our aluminium, the extraction process of aluminium, to be very precise. Okay, so you got it? It's what is written here, and you can properly write it and see that how to not miss even a single step. Okay, now we'll move ahead. I just explained everything, but in 2 marks you have to explain precisely and not like going to tell the entire process. Okay, I just told you so that it can help you to understand this chapter better and can revise properly. Now, as I was telling, how Vedantu platform can help you, because that's just the YouTube classes you are seeing. We are there on Vedantu's own platform, which is very much amazing, where you will see that there will be active learning, not like you will be just listening. With the topic completion, there will be a quiz. Like 15-20 minutes we'll give to a topic completion, then there will be a quiz, and simultaneously topic completion and then quiz, and in the last summary, so that you listen properly, you respond properly, and can get maximum output of the session and can have a healthy competition throughout the world. And apart from that, whenever you see replay, suppose you miss a session, if you see the replay, that time also you can also like participate in the quiz and can come to leaderboard, which is again amazing, because it will be active learning again, not just listening part, and you'll come to the leaderboard at that time also. Great. And you'll get handwritten notes of all master teachers with their feedback, with most important questions, doubt solving with the help of master teachers, and a team of subject matter experts who will be there in the class to help you all out, so that no doubts remain unanswered. And apart from that, as I was telling, that's the main attraction, the crash courses that's going to start. For me also, I'm going to take one crash course the next week, so you can totally enroll for the same and can revise the entire chemistry with me. And this crash course won't be for chemistry, but when you take the subscription, you will get all this major subject like physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, SST, and English. So I think you should not wait anymore, because when you apply AGE Pro code, you will get discount. How to get that? In the description box, there is a message that was pinned, there is a link that was pinned by Vedantu channel, and when you open that link, like Get Pro classes, you have to select ICSE as your target and 2021 as your exam, and then AGE Pro code for 1 month, you just have to pay 2159, 20% discount, and for 3 months it will just become 1866 per month, 5599 for 3 months. And if you do the exact maths and take the maximum output of all your courses, you are just paying 11 to 9 rupees per session accordingly. So you can make a choice and can think about it at least for a month and can get maximum output. All right, everyone. And now I hope you're properly oriented for the same. So let's move ahead with the next question. Describe modern method of aluminium extraction. So that I was telling only that if I talk about all the method, the very first thing that we have to do is Bayer's process. What exactly is Bayer's process, everyone? Bayer's process is the one with the help of which we are going to remove the impurity and get our pure, like a concentrated ore called as alumina. And how to do that? First of all, we are going to heat our bauxite ore. We are going to heat it to get rid of vaporizable impurity that it is having. Okay, all the vaporizable impurities will be gone now. Now, there will be impurities that will be mixed with the solvent, or insoluble impurity, soluble impurity, whatsoever. Now, what are we going to do? We'll take it and mix it with NaOH, alkali, a strong alkali, and we are going to heat it around 500 degrees Celsius. Now, when you heat it, aluminium oxide is kind of an ore that's amphoteric in nature, that combined with my NaOH to give what? Salt, and again water. So you're going to get a salt, sodium aluminate, along with water, NaAlO2 along with water. Okay, so that's what you got. Now this sodium aluminate is a salt, so that's mixed with the water, but apart from that there will be insoluble impurities that settling down at the bottom and called as red mud. Red kind of impurities like iron oxide and some other oxides are there. That impurities will settle down and we will get rid of it by filtration. Now basically we are having the sodium aluminate with water, filtrate I got. Then you cool down the sodium aluminate by diluting it with water. By like around 50 degrees Celsius you are going to cool it down, and when you do that and diluting it with water, it combined to give my aluminium hydroxide and Na again combined with OH to give NaOH. That means we are going to get our NaOH back. Whatever we used, we are going to get it back. Apart from that, we're going to get the precipitate of aluminium hydroxide, which is white precipitate, white gelatinous precipitate. All right. So this is like the first step. This is like the second step where we get aluminium hydroxide precipitate. In the third step, you're going to take aluminium hydroxide and you're going to heat it so that it will give you aluminium oxide. Water is going to vaporized. And that's how you get pure aluminium. Like a concentrated ore, all the impurities are gone now. Now that was a step where we get pure alumina, like a concentrated ore of aluminium. But modern method of aluminium extraction, the main method is done. Now we have alumina, and what we all have to do from the alumina, we need our aluminium back. For that, what are we going to do? We are going, again I have explained that in the last question. We take my cathode as the tank only lined with the carbon lining. So that was my cathode is, and we are going to take carbon rod as the anode as well. Okay, and apart from that, we are going to take my aluminium oxide in the same alumina. Apart from that, there will be two more substances. I hope you remember I told you that's my Na3AlF6. Na3AlF6 is my cryolite, and apart from that, calcium fluoride, difluoride, that's my calcium fluoride is my fluorspar. So this kind of a substance, this is more of like acting as a solvent, and togetherly when they mixed with aluminium oxide we get a fused mixture, and the melting point decreased to 950 degrees Celsius, and it also increased the conductivity of that mixture into the solution. So we are going to get free ions because of the same with more conductivity. Now I'm having aluminium ions and sodium ions as the cation, but aluminium ions has more tendency to gain the electron. Remember the electrochemical series? Okay. So aluminium ions are the one that will move towards cathode, which is negatively charged. Cathode attract cation. They get electron and give aluminium metal. That will be, again I told you, a bit steeped. So molten aluminium is going to connect over there. Now we have oxide ions and fluoride ion as well that can move towards anode because anode attract anion. And as I told you, oxygen has more tendency to lose electron as compared to fluorine, because fluorine is more of electronegative, more tendency to gain electron, less tendency to lose electron. So oxide ion will go here. 2 oxide ion loses 4 electron to give oxygen gas. Now as it's giving oxygen gas, that react with these carbon and give carbon dioxide gas, which is getting burned away. So we have to keep on replacing these anodes. Okay, and in that process, do remember that we are getting aluminium in the molten form at here. So as 4 electron is being lost, please do remember that the number of electron gain and number of electron lost must be same. So you can balance these reaction accordingly. It's written also here, because the number of electron lost and number of electron gain must be same. 2 aluminium ion taking 6 electron to give my 2 aluminium metal, and apart from that 3 oxide ion will lose 6 electron again to give 3O. That means 3O combined with 3O, 3O2, 3 oxygen gas. So basically in total we take my 6 oxygen here, and accordingly you can balance the same. Okay, balancing is very much important. Please remember that number of electron lost should be equal to number of electron gained. You can do that and let me know what could be the right amount of aluminium oxide that needs to be taken. Okay, you can take this overall 2Al2O3 will give 4 aluminium and 3 oxygen. Now you can tell me. Now let's move ahead with the next question. During the extraction of aluminium, cryolite and fluorspar are added to alumina. Why? I think now you are pretty much clear with the same, because I told you again and again that this mixture is something that lower the melting point of aluminium. Overall fused mixture goes to 950 degrees Celsius. Also, to make alumina good conductor of electricity, I told you they are going to increase the conductivity of the same so that the ions will be free. Cryolite act as solvent for alumina also. What was cryolite? Na3Al(F6), acting as a solvent for alumina so that that can dissociate into ions properly. Now, this is the next question. In the following question that is relevant to the extraction of aluminium, which somehow we did, state the reason for adding of caustic alkali NaOH to bauxite ore during purification of bauxite. I think I told you, when it mixed with NaOH, we get sodium aluminate with water. Yeah, if you remember that, when we mix it with NaOH, basically what are we going to get? This is my amphoteric in nature, and with this, my base, it is going to give sodium aluminate, which is a salt, along with water. And all the impurities that in the form of red mud is going to settle down. So we add NaOH just to get rid of the insoluble impurities called as red mud. And we get the salt water mixture as a filtrate when we filter it. Okay. Now give a balanced chemical equation for the above reaction. You can do that. You can take 2 NaOH, 2 AlO2, and following that 2 H2O. And I'll see that whether the reaction is balanced. 2 aluminium, 2 sodium balance, 2 H2 balance, oxygen 2 into 2 4 and 2 6 4, 3 2 5 and 2 7. 7, and in that way I can take here 3 if you are saying, because 4 and 2 6 hydrogen is there. Now it's balanced, 3 and 4 7. Okay, now that's a balanced reaction. You can see that properly. Okay. Next part, along with cryolite and alumina, another substance is added to the electrolyte mixture. Name the substance and given one reason for the addition. That's also a very important question, students. Above this mixture, we sprinkle powdered coke. What could be the reason to sprinkle powdered coke? Apart from that, that's so that the heat that's going to release is not going to go out. Those radiation should be there so that my solvent will be in that mixture only. Okay. And apart from that, cryolite and alumina, calcium fluoride is also we are adding, because that's the one that's increasing the conductivity of electrolyte. So we are going to add cryolite, more of like a solvent, calcium fluoride, which is like fluorspar, which is increasing the conductivity of my solution, and apart from that, powdered coke, that in the sprinkled form, that is not letting the heat radiation go away of the solvent. Yeah, so these are the things which are adding here. Okay, write a note on thermite welding. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Let me just see that. When I talk about thermite welding, what exactly is that? When I have my iron oxide and we mix it with aluminium powder, aluminium is more of like a very good reducing agent and reduce this iron oxide. In what way? My iron is going to be in the free form, and aluminium react with oxygen to give aluminium oxide. Okay, and the amount of heat energy release is very high, around 3000 degrees Celsius, so that we get this mixture in the molten form. This mixture we use for the joining of railway tracks. That's why we use it for welding purpose. That's why we call it thermite welding. We'll take this mixture, put it into the 2 railway tracks that needs to be joined, and that will be cooled away, and that's how it's going to be joined. We put a magnesium wire directly into the same after burning so that the reaction can be ignited and can happen. Okay, that's how we do that. Now, what is meant by electrochemical series of metals? That's a very good one. Electrochemical series of a metal is a series that's written in terms of increasing reduction potential. Means when you move down in the series, their tendency to gain electron increases when your metals are in the cation form. Okay, that's the series. When we move down, the reactivity decreases in terms of their tendency to react with other substance, their tendency to lose electron. In a way, their tendency to gain electron increases. That's what your electrochemical series. All the metals are arranged in terms of decreasing activity. The above one more reactive, the below one less reactive in terms of their tendency to lose electron. So we can say vice versa, their tendency to gain electron increases down the group, their tendency to show reduction is going to increase down the group. That's very much important series. You please remember that. Okay. Now I have a question for you. Name the process and the element extracted by the above process as shown in the figure. Name the process and element. So these are the questions regarding the same, because why I'm giving you as a homework, because somehow we discussed that. Name the process and the element extracted by the above process shown in the figure. We have powdered coke and we have this whole carbon rods. These are the carbon rods. That's more of like my anode, if you remember. And this was the entire process. We somehow discussed that. Yeah, this is carbon lining as my cathode. This is my anode, and powdered coke we are going to sprinkle. Here we have all the three type of substances mixture. Give the function of three component of electrolyte. I told you three electrolyte, alumina along with two more things. Why is the electrolyte covered with coke? Something I already told you. Write the electrolytic reaction taking place at cathode. Cathode attracts cation. So this is a very easy question. Why I'm giving you as a homework? That's more of like a test, because I have already discussed that how much you're going to put for the same. That's what I am needing right now. All right, everyone. So I hope you got everything. I'll be waiting for your homework because that's quite important. Please do subscribe for Vedantu classes, because that's going to be super fun. You will get everything, and that's going to be a wonderful experience, and you will be definitely able to boost your score. Do not forget to apply the code AGEPRO. AG ma'am's code is AGEPRO, because that will give you a discount. The link is there in the description box pinned by Vedantu Night and channel. For 1 month, you just have to pay 2159. For 3 months 5599. That means 1866 something rupees per month. You can choose your course wisely. I hope you got everything. You can follow me on Instagram, chemistry.vedantu_Anubha. And I hope you understood everything I taught right now. If there is any confusion, as I told, all the notes are having all the detailed explanation as well. So you can download the file in the form of PDF from the description box. I hope you already liked the video. If you haven't, you can do it right away. Do not forget to share it among your friends and tell that for ICSE also there is enough thing that is doing and going to be helpful for everyone. And subscribe if you're new. Do not forget to press the bell icon to get all the updates so that you never miss a session. Thank you so much. I hope that's a lovely journey for you as well. I enjoyed it a lot. I'll meet you next time. Until then, please take care of yourself. Happy learning. Hasta la vista.